Welcome, everyone, to the EarthWombyn Gathering podcast. I'm your host, Patricia Walls, and this is the space for deeper conversations, a space where spirituality, higher awareness, multidimensional understanding, healing, consciousness, and human evolution can be explored openly, honestly, and without fear. This podcast is here for those who simply know there's more to this reality than what we've been told. Through these conversations, we explore topics such as consciousness expansion, energetic healing, the original language, spiritual awakening, multidimensional experiences, earth wisdom, hall of records, cosmic awareness, and the deeper mysteries of existence. So wherever you're joining us from today, just take a breath, settle in, and allow yourself to be fully present for what resonates with you in this moment. So let's begin. Today's guest is Kelly Myszkowski, and I so apologize if I didn't say that right. I know that you'll tell us the correct way. Having experienced her physical symptoms, where her soul's intuitive guidance was to stop tolerating her life, to shift her limiting beliefs about purpose, and sync with her soul's guidance to what's next. Kelly now compassionately guides others, stressed, soul-searching women, to allow life to unfold for themselves, to recognize and trust their soul's intuitive guidance, to live the life their hearts know that they were born to live, a life of peace, ease, health, well-being, and purposefully making their you-nique difference in all that is. Kelly is an intuitive certified transformational coach and a unity healing practitioner, a light and energy worker. And I have put her links down there for her. Please copy them off for yourself. And I am going to bring Kelly on camera. So bear with me for a second here as I multitask. So Kelly, if you can put your video on, please.
It says that I can't.
You can't. Okay. Even though I made you a co-host, huh?
I did not see that pop up. Oh, now I am. Okay.
Okay.
There we go.
There you are.
It's like magic. Boom. Hey.
It's like magic. I'm a magic person.
You're just a magic person. You are very magical. We're all magical. Well, thank you for this opportunity, Patricia. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate it.
You and I have been working on this for a few months.
Yes.
So thank you for your patience as I took my short sabbatical. So,
yeah, we all need those. We all need those. And I admire the way that you did that and you kept it together and you popped back in when it was time to pop back in. It's important that we take care of ourselves. And that's a little of what this is about tonight. when we're stressed, when we're confused, when we need a change, when we're feeling like we're lacking purpose. One of the challenges I face, in helping people is this is a vast topic. And my understanding from the marketing professionals and what I know of myself sometimes and what I've gotten to know, other people, is that sometimes it's difficult for people to apply a broad topic to their circumstances. And this really is all-encompassing in so many ways. We are moving out of the times of living from our minds and making logical decisions and following so many things that we've been taught in how to navigate our lives and be in the world and make choices and decisions and all of that, all of our shoulds and musts and whatnot, and what our priorities are and all of that, to really living in the natural flow of the unfolding of our life according to the blueprint, according to the plan, according to what our soul chose before we incarnated. And there are so many ways that we are guided that we sometimes ignore or miss or misinterpret that are really part of that guidance. And ideally, the people that I work with are somewhat inclined in this direction. They're feeling called in this direction already. And they have different levels of experience and knowledge and expertise. But what I find is that we need to have that awareness. We need to be open to looking at ourselves, to being honest about what we're thinking and feeling, to slow down and be present. And the more we can do that, the more our nervous system can shift gears, the more we can get out of our own way, and the more sensitive we become to what's around us so that we can sense the subtle cues before we're getting whacked over the head that are inviting us to redirect. Then it takes courage and faith, trust in ourselves and in our greater power, however we define that, that our next steps will be there for us when it is time. But we all also are designed differently to be receptive to different cues. We are designed differently to be in the world, and what works for one person won't necessarily work for another. And I've lived that so much myself as someone who, it's not just a matter of studying myself in my own world here, my own inner world, but also, especially when I dove into human design and realized, yes, we're all unique, but there are still kind of some categories or statistics that apply to people. And I am in so many rare categories, it isn't funny. So I fit the norm a lot less than a lot of people. So I really need to be true to myself. And I try to work with people to help them understand themselves, know themselves, understand how their guidance is working, and be able to listen to it and follow it so that they don't need me. Because the answers are within us. We have all the gifts, traits, talents, knowledge, skills, abilities, and the shadows and challenges that our soul came here to experience so that it grows and it learns and it expands. And sometimes people find they keep having these things crop up in their lives, these patterns. And I wholeheartedly believe potentially that is part of what our soul is seeking to experience. That is part of how we're designed. It doesn't mean that there's something wrong with us or that we haven't done the work or haven't hit on the right thing. And sometimes it is the case. And sometimes it's hard to know the difference. So I've explored a variety of ways to explore this with people and to address some of those blocks and distortions in who we are, in the expression of who we are, to help realign us with that blueprint. And again, I'm speaking from the space of us being energetic beings that are here as light, as energy, expressing. And I kind of look at it like we're expressing through a filter, if you will. And that filter creates the image that is us, or that lens creates the image that is us. And when you have a little dirt on the lens, when you have a little trauma, when you have a little bit of a limiting belief, it changes what expresses. So if we can relax and allow all of that to repattern, sometimes our systems can do that for themselves. And sometimes we need help from other guides, other beings, or we are better served by others that have expertise at that level of dysfunction or disease or distress or whatever it is that can come in and address those patterns and transmute them, resolve them, clear them out, and restore our alignment with our blueprint. And so I love that you invited everyone to take a breath when we got here. And if you're here now live, or if you're watching the replay of this, I invite you to do that seriously if you haven't already. To just take a breath and let yourself be heavier in your seat. Let yourself settle and relax and notice, how are you feeling right now? What has your day been like so far? What haven't you noticed before about yourself and how you're doing? How does your left side compare to your right side in terms of how it's feeling? What do your feet feel like? And just start to tune into yourself and give yourself that break. And then the other thing that people can do is take a deep breath in through their nose and exhale out through their mouth and just let everything go, and do that a few times. The deep breathing helps your nervous system to reset and helps you to relax. And then inhaling and exhaling through your nose helps you to relax even more and reset your nervous system to an even deeper level of relaxation. How often do we do that during the day, or do we just run through our day? And then I also use the analogy of us being like a dumpster. And if a dumpster could feel and could express, when a dumpster is full, it probably just feels solid. It may not be aware of the individual items that are in it, the individual contents, if you will. But if you start to remove some of the things from that dumpster, some of the trash that doesn't belong there, so some of our limiting beliefs and programming, and the traumas and ancestral wounds that we carry, things from other lifetimes, other lives that we've had, galactic, whatever it may be, then there's less in there. There's less pressure against the sides. And now, if it could flex, it might notice what's in there. And our bodies are much the same. Our bodies are tension patterns. We're holding together a pattern of light. We're holding together frequencies and patterns of energy. So that's tension as it is, but in a healthy way, if you will. So this is another way, by relaxing, that we can become more sensitive to what's going on and what we're feeling. You know, I don't know how it resonates with anyone else, but when I started out, really got jump started on my journey, I was tolerating my life. I had checked all the success boxes in the traditional sense, and I started developing some physical symptoms that, the symptoms themselves weren't concerning, but the fact that I didn't know why they were there concerned me, and they were getting worse. So I had odd sensation in my hand that really got exacerbated when I used the computer or the mouse. I had pain and tension down my neck, my back, into my right leg and hip, and even my ankle a little bit, especially when I drove long distances on my job. And I wasn't particularly fond of some aspects of my job, but I did the positive thinking thing without even realizing what I was doing. And I focused on the part of it that I liked, that I was helping people in some way, and did not realize this is part of how our soul gets our attention. And so, kind of what was happening is, at the same time, the company was going through some changes, and my job was potentially going to be affected. And it was the first job I'd ever had out of college. I don't know how I got it. It was there. I got offered it. Things fell into place. And I didn't know what I was going to do if something happened to that. I was petrified. So there was that element of stress, and I felt like I couldn't control my life. I wanted something that I enjoyed, but I didn't know how to create that or how to get it. And so now that I understand a little bit more of the mind body continuum, as I call it, not connection, but I see it as a continuum of expression. And I came to see our bodies as the 3D physical expression of what's in our minds. I understand better what was happening then. And I had a sense of it then when I started to go through my healing process. I tried all the conventional stuff and the doctors, and none of that worked. But I finally got to a place where I could relax and my body could self correct and self heal. And my perspective naturally began to change. I didn't intentionally go after beliefs and say, oh, this is limiting me. This is causing the problem, blah, blah, blah. It all happened naturally. And when you think about it, a mouse is a way to make a selection as you're doing things, right? You point and you click. You put it there, you make a choice, you select something, what have you. So there was a lot of tension in my hand, as that was my only way of controlling things in essence. Driving, okay, we're holding the steering wheel, we're controlling the direction we're going in, and our foot's on the gas. So pressure down through the foot and leg. How fast am I getting there? Am I putting my foot on the brake and stopping? You're controlling your life metaphorically when you're driving. So there was no difference. My body didn't know the difference. It was a way of having control over where I went and how fast I got there. And this all really goes back to there's some bodies of work out there that I have not trained deeply in because I don't care to for a lot of reasons. It doesn't fit with how I work with people. But it gives an understanding as to what's going on. If you think of your physical body as a solution, so your soul wants to come here on earth to do something, it needs a body to do those things. So to reach out and grab something, it needs hands, it needs arms, right? To sustain itself, it's got to ingest something, it's got to digest something, it's got to get nutrients, it's got to be nourished. We talk often about our hearts being in what we're doing and being heartbroken at times. The metaphors really kind of bridge the gap between what our bodies are designed to do and what they're actually doing in the world. And when something goes wrong, when we can't reach for what we want, when we're afraid to take a step, if we're afraid to move forward, that can show up in the body as hip pain because we don't want to bend at the place where we actually take that step. And this, to me, really explains well how we become sick. I don't believe there's any coincidence or any accident. There's always a deeper reason for why we have what we have, whether it's a cold or it's cancer or it's Parkinson's or our life is blowing up in front of us and things aren't working out and all of these changes are happening. It's for a deeper reason. So the stiller we can become, the more calm we can become, the more we can tune in to what's going on the inside and what we're really thinking and feeling, the easier it is to figure out what's going on and what to resolve. We can get lost in our heads trying to figure it out, or we can relax deeply to a place where our higher power and our innate healing ability and our teams kick in and help straighten it out for us and help us to see what we need to see. So as I went through this process, I acknowledged that for a long time I'd been wanting something more. I thought it was really cool to have a purpose in life, but I thought that it was reserved for special people. And it was associated with those that win awards and make headlines and are in the news and do all these wonderful things. That was a limiting belief. And I didn't really realize it because it felt aligned in so many ways. But my soul was trying to get my attention that each one of us is needed here in some way. And we may see it fully. Some people may wake up to that and really see things on another level, in other dimensions, how they're fitting in. Or it may just have to be a knowing. Or it may be very obvious on the 3D plane how we're helping people in some way. we come up with some invention or something, or some modality that really shifts people's lives, whatever it is. But it's important that we live the purpose we're here to live and listen to all those messages that we get. So as my body was beginning to tense up, I wasn't realizing I needed to make a change. And then even when I kind of realized that was going on, I still didn't have the courage to say, you know what, this isn't for me. Thank you. Goodbye. So the universe took care of that for me with the corporate changes going through and my job being eliminated. And I tried again, and that didn't work out. And I worked on my own. And that wasn't really fulfilling. And I was blessed to fall into a unique state program with the unemployment office that was a trial thing where I could go through a training program to create your own business and earn income at the same time and still collect my unemployment. So I got some business building skills, but I finally, under that program, was able to decide to go on and become a soulpreneur in the healing industry and in the wellness industry and give people the opportunity that I had had to discover for themselves who they truly are, to open to their gifts and to follow the steps before them. And at the time, that was through craniosacral therapy. I needed a massage license. I had to go to massage school in order to get the license so that I could practice. And I've added coaching and energy work after that. But that's kind of where I've been. I don't know if that makes any sense. If anybody has any questions on that so far, or there's anything you'd like to add, Patricia, or ask to clarify or highlight.
I think those are, yeah, thank you for being so open and for sharing your story. Uh, I I don't have any questions as much as I have comments. And so you're right. So many of us don't listen to our body, and some of what you were saying sort of reminded me of Louise Hay. No, was it Louise Hay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I have used her template several times to identify different things that were going on. And one of the modalities that I was trained in is called emotrance and also tapping. But I would, it's funny because as I was watching people saying, oh, it hurts here now, it hurts, the energy's here and now the energy's there. Because of Louise, I was able to track it. Oh, this is because carrying the world on your shoulders, right? This is because they refuse to move forward. They feel stuck. And this is because, of our ancestors. And so I loved Louise's reference, and I've gone back to it many times, and still even there are certain aspects of her experience and her template that I can't relate to. And like you said, there are so many tools out there, and we don't have to relate to all of them. We just have to listen to our guidance. And I have to congratulate you on listening to the universe, especially because when they ended your corporate job, it was because the universe said there's something better for you, right? And there are so many people that I meet, that I talk to, who have just gotten fired from their jobs, or their relationship ended, or their car broke down, or, right? And they go into that, oh, poor me, instead of listening and going, oh, what has the universe got for me? Why did the universe end that? What's next? What's next? And so, I'm really, I know that you inspire people just by telling your story and how you listen to the universe and you listen to your body. And not everybody does that. So how do you help people? And you mentioned a couple of experiences that you've had, things that you've learned, tools that you've gathered over time. So what does the typical session with you look like?
It's custom.
Of course. Of
So
course.
it can vary quite a bit depending on the person, depending on what they're looking for. Generally, we're going to have some sort of intake and find out what they're looking for, what they're hoping to accomplish, and see where they're at in their ability to get quiet and listen. We may be doing energy work. We may be doing something that's a little more transformational, coaching oriented, which for me, by definition, is typically some sort of imagery and meditation work that is typically somatic in nature. Um, People may be feeling stuck. People may want clarity. People may want to know what their gifts and their purpose are. Um, this is not something that's intended to diagnose or treat or cure a physical ailment or illness. And some of those things are part of our birth plan to experience. I'm not someone that can tell you if it is or it isn't, but I can tell you when the purpose of something is served, it will resolve. That I know when you address it and when you allow it to happen. So we will typically have a conversation. I'll typically guide them to relax and tune in. And then what direction are we going in? I really love starting with unity field healing work at this point because it attunes them to their own blueprint, which by definition in that work is held energetically, etherically in our 24th chromosome of our DNA. And it also then attunes them to their innate ability to self-correct and self-heal with the assistance of the unity field healing template. So when they're attuned to those two things, to me, they are even better prepared to make changes going forward. And we can continue with that work in a way that they will then, in following sessions, set an intention for the session. And essentially, the unity field healing work helps to clear their chakras out and charge them with more of their higher soul self coming in. The all knowing part of them that is closer to source, that is their divine expression, their essence in this world, that isn't conditioned, isn't traumatized, is pure and knows what's best for them. There are other energy techniques that I can use to work in their energy field. And I have more things that I'm working on presently to add into my practice. So stay tuned to see how that evolves and develops. And as they begin to change, then we can offer them support in choosing their next steps. It depends on how they're progressing through this as to what we'll focus on. If they're noticing something in their body shifting, moving, feeling tight, not feeling right, do we need to tune in there? Do we need to have a conversation with it? All of our cells have their own consciousness. Like really everything has consciousness. It just might be that you sit down and your drinking bottle doesn't seem to be talking back to you, but there was consciousness imbued in it when it was created. But our cells certainly are available for us, or our organs as a whole, or a joint or an area of the body to find out what's there. And I, again, wholeheartedly believe if it is for us to know, if it serves us to know what is there, to have conscious awareness of the wisdom in there, in that experience, it will surface. In some cases, Some of these things are surfacing because when we brought them forth to clear out of the field for all of humanity, that was our agreement. So it could be something that we're clearing that was ancestral or we experienced in a past life that we would never relate to this lifetime as long as we sat and thought about it. We just have to let it clear. And we may need to know what it was about and we may not. I've heard of cases of people having back pain and they feel like they're being stabbed in the back. And when they go through their healing process, they have an awareness of having been stabbed in the back in a previous lifetime. And when that surfaces and resolves, their back pain resolves. That's one example of how that can happen. But again, I don't believe there are any coincidences at all. This is part of the unfolding. And if we can, obviously, we need to triage sometimes in the moment and make ourselves safe in the moment. And we may need to make some appointments. We may need to get the car into the mechanic. But can we look at the metaphors that are present there? Where are you having trouble slowing down in your life? Are the brakes gone in your car? Have you been putting the brakes on too much? Not a coincidence. There are some things that can be difficult to interpret, and I've gone way beyond Louise Hay's work with a bunch of other references and resources if we need them. I also don't like people to get lost looking for that if they don't need to. So if you're really, really struggling and losing sleep, not knowing why this hurts or that isn't working, and you really need to know, yeah, we can look it up, but it can be misleading sometimes too. So looking at the general, how do we navigate through life? What do we need to do that? How does our body serve that purpose? And with the mindset and the beliefs that we bring to the picture and the lens or the filter that is creating, that's distorting how we're expressing in the world, how can we resolve that? That's a little of where I come from with that. I don't know if that answers your question and addresses your comments or where we're at right now.
It did. It did. It answered all of that. And I think it's a beautiful template. So is there a process that you could take us through? Just a simple process to show people who may want to work with you, to give them an idea of what you do?
I can do some of the simple process. The energy work itself is not something that I can really demonstrate in a way for people to experience it. It's not a group event per se. The unity field healing work is done in silence and is protocol oriented. And some of the other work I do has protocol, and some of it is very free form, personalized to the individual. But we can do some relaxation, we can do some tuning in, and we can do some self awareness. And if we're going to do that, I'm going to cut my video for that so that I'm not distracted by anything more than I need to be, and I close my eyes as well. So if you're ready to get started, we'll dive into that. Okay. So I invite everyone to just make yourself comfortable. Again, whether you're watching this on the replay or you are here with us live, and allow your eyes to soften and close once you get comfortable. Unless you're driving, then you shouldn't be doing this to begin with, or operating heavy machinery, or caring for someone frail, or any of those other common sense things. Disclaimer, disclaimer, disclaimer. So make yourself comfortable. And I invite you to just first of all notice the surface beneath you that's supporting you, whatever that is. If you're laying down, are you laying in a recliner, sofa, on the floor, on the bed? Just notice how that's supporting you. If you're sitting, same thing, in your chair. What is under you Is it under your entire back? Or is it just under your butt, under your feet? Just notice what you feel there. Allow your body to contact that surface. Expand your awareness. See what you notice that you didn't notice before. What's the temperature of the surface? What's the texture? Are you feeling relaxed? Do you have any aches or pains? Do you feel any stiffness? What do you notice? What's your temperature feel like? Are you comfortable? Is the air humid? Is it dry? Is it cool? Is it warm? Are you comfortable? And then I invite you to bring your awareness to your breath and just notice your breathing. Are you breathing in through your nose and through your mouth, a little of each? And as you breathe in and out, how much of your body moves? Newborn babies that are healthy and well adjusted, when they breathe, their entire body moves. As they go through life and they get conditioned and they begin to have a few aches and pains and injuries and insults and traumas, they start to shut down. Their breathing shifts. And many times as we get older, our breath is really only moving a small portion of our bodies. It isn't just because we're bigger and there's a lot more to move, and maybe our breathing muscles aren't as strong. Okay, that may be part of it, but that's not the whole story. So just notice without judgment. And then I invite you to take a few nice deep breaths at your own pace and own depth, in through your nose and exhale out through your mouth, imagining inhaling peace and exhaling stress and anything that is not yours. Just let it go the best you can without judgment. And then I invite you to also take a couple of nice deep breaths in through your nose and out through your nose, allowing your body to soften even more. And allow your breath to reach a pace and depth that feels comfortable to you in this moment. And again, I invite you to just notice without judgment, how is your body moving when you breathe? Is your chest rising and falling? Are your shoulders moving? What is your back doing? How about your belly? Are you allowing your low back to expand as well as you inhale? Is there an area that feels like it needs more attention? Maybe inviting your breath into that area, allowing it to move a little bit more, allowing it to expand a little bit more, allowing your arms to roll open, your chest to expand. It's all good. It's just information. No judgment. It's just information. And then I invite you to use your imagination in whatever way works for you, either to trust, to visualize, to intend, to see, to feel, sense in some way above the top of your head, the most beautiful, brilliant ball of white light, the perfect white, shimmering, bright white light that's perfect for you. And that array of that light comes down through the top of your head relaxing your head, your scalp, nourishing all of your cells, flowing around your brain, relaxing your eyes, relaxing your face, allowing your jaw to soften even more. Even relaxing your ears as it flows down through and it comes to the base of your skull where your neck and skull join. Allow that light to flow in there and relax and nourish that area. And imagine it flowing down into your neck and throat, allowing your throat to relax and allowing your neck to relax, allowing your mind to relax. And it not necessarily going to go completely blank. That's okay. Just bring your attention back to your body, to the areas that I'm inviting you to tend to, and see what you notice. As this light flows around your throat and your neck, relaxing those areas even more. And then it flows down through your shoulders, through your collarbones, through the back of your shoulders, through your upper chest and upper back, allowing those areas to relax a little more, to become a little more softer, to flow a little more, allowing that white light to fill those areas and flow down your arms, into your hands, and into your fingers, and in the palms of your hands. You may even feel the energy there. If you don't, that's okay. Just trust, because you intend it, because you invite it. It is there. And if you notice it, great. And that energy also continues to flow deeper down into your chest and your back, nourishing all of your cells, all of your tissues, all of your organs, your heart, your lungs, all your thyroid, vocal cords, all of your digestive tract as it continues to flow down through your abdomen, nourishing all of your organs and glands and cells, all of your fluids, all of the space in between. And then it continues to flow down into your hips, in your very low pelvic area. Again, nourishing all of your tissues and organs and glands and fluids, everything that is you. And imagine this light continuing to flow down through your hips, nourishing your hips, flowing out through your legs, your knees, your lower legs, your ankles, your feet, flowing down through, connecting you to the earth below as it flows through you. It flows through your earth star chakra, which is about a foot beneath your feet. And it goes down through all the layers of the earth, down into the molten core of the earth. And it connects in with the molten core of the earth and provides a conduit, a path for all of the codes in the earth for life, for you, that are yours to flow back up through this beautiful white cord of energy. And you are also connected all the way through your core, all the way up through to the cosmos, to source. And just allow yourself to breathe and relax and be. And I invite you now to scan down through and just notice what you're feeling or sensing. scanning down through your head and face, your neck and throat, your shoulders and arms and hands. How are your shoulders feeling? How is your chest feeling? How is your back feeling? Bringing your awareness down through, floating on down through your trunk, the trunk of your body to your hips and your legs and your feet. Is there anything that stands out? Any areas needing extra attention? If so, you can invite more of that light to flow from your heart into those areas, and from those areas back up into your heart, back up to source, back down through your heart to those areas, forming a continuous loop. And allow yourself to breathe again, and just whatever rate and depth feels good to you, and just be. And then I invite you to notice, how does the left side of your body feel? And how does the right side feel? Do they feel the same? Or are they different? Maybe one part of your body feels different on one side than the other. Maybe there's a difference in your shoulders or your hips, your legs, your feet. Maybe your hands and arms feel different. Again, just information. And then I invite you again to just let go of all of that and just be. And if you can, if it's comfortable for you, depending on the position that you're in, I invite you to allow your hands, if they aren't already, to be separate and come to rest on your body, either like a hand on each thigh or a hand on each side of your belly, whatever works for you, whatever feels comfortable. And again, if you can't do this now, you can always return to it in the replay. And as your hands sit there, I invite you first to see what you notice under your hands. Are you in contact with clothing or a blanket? Are you in contact with your skin? Are you in contact with some of each? Just see what you notice. And take that all in, again, as information. Do you notice a texture, a temperature? If you're in a warm and humid room, are you perspiring a little? Are you dry? How do your hands feel? What do you notice in your hands as they sit there? And then shift your awareness back to what's under your hands and what you notice, and go a layer deeper. Does the area feel soft? Does it feel firm? No judgment, just information. And allowing your hands to rest and be at rest. Just allow yourself to sit there or lay there, whatever it is. And allow yourself to be. And invite your hands and your awareness to go deeper if possible. No judgment if you can't. It doesn't happen. That's okay. Do you notice your breath? Is your body moving as you breathe? Do you sense a heartbeat in some way, depending again on your body and where your hands are? And invite your hands just to be soft and relaxed, and your body to be soft and relaxed. And maybe, just maybe, they will seem to melt together and become as one. And notice yourself just being in this moment, regardless of what else you notice, with your hands. Then I invite you to just lift your hands off for a second and place them back, if you can, in the same place. If you need to stretch them, and allow them to come to rest again in the same place if possible. And then shift your focus and awareness to the inside, to your body, feeling the presence of your hands. How do your hands feel? Are they warm? Are they cool? Are they dry? Are they moist? Are they heavy? Do you notice where your fingers are compared to where your palms are? Does it all feel like one? Again, just information. And can that area of your body invite your hands to come in even closer? Not adding pressure, but just being more fully aware of them. Aware of just how much of them is in contact with you. No judgment, nothing to accomplish. And if it feels right to you, if there's an area of your body that is feeling uncomfortable in this moment, I invite you to bring your attention to it. And ask it if it has anything it would like to share with you. If there's anything that it needs or it wants you to know. If there isn't an area that needs attention, that's okay too. But if there is, what would it like you to know? Is there something for you to let go of? Is there something that needs your attention, something for you to resolve, a new perspective to be offered? And again, if you don't get anything, that's okay. This is just a quick exercise to give you an idea of what may be possible. Is there anything that you would like to tell that area of your body? You can say it silently. You can just intend it. If nothing else, I invite you to invite more of that white light, down through your heart into that area as unconditional love from Source. Knowing that you can return to this area in another way, another day, another time, when it's appropriate for you, if you need to. If I were working with someone privately and there was an area in question, we would do this a little differently. We would invite an image to work with, and depending on what showed up, how we work with it would be different. And for now, I invite you to acknowledge yourself for your willingness to participate in this, to take some time for you. I invite you to take a couple of intentional breaths, whatever that may mean for you, whether they're deep or just pay attention to your breath. Begin to bring your awareness back into the room, back into any sounds that you may hear. Allow your fingers and toes to wiggle and move. Allow yourself to stretch. Allow your eyes to open if they haven't already. And bring yourself back into the room.
That was great.
Thank
I
you.
do know that stress drives the bus in, in almost all circumstances, and that relaxation, intentional relaxation of the body, the mind, the spirit, the emotions, is beneficial. And so, have you ever considered recording that and offering it?
That particular one I have not. I have others that I have recorded, and it's been a very long time. And that
Okay.
would be a
Are they
good
on
one
your
to
website
record.
as an offering?
At this time, I don't have a free offering. I,
Doesn't have to be free. You know, I'm
well,
just
yes.
saying, yeah, I'm just
I,
saying, have you
yeah,
offered some recordings? Because your voice is very gentle and very calming, and um, I think that that would be a good service to others if you would consider
yes,
creating some of
yes,
these relaxations. So,
yes. It, it's not something that I currently offer in any form as such. If we are in a session together and that is part of the session, the client would have their own personalized recording to listen to repeatedly.
yeah, yeah,
But certainly that is something that I can consider offering. I've been going through an awful lot of change myself, and my offerings have been changing. So my number one has been to serve where I can serve, and then
yeah,
to add on things as I'm feeling called to add them. So thank you for that. So,
yeah,
does anyone have any questions or any feedback? I would love to hear
yeah. Are
if
you
you
able
want
to
to.
see the chat?
I am. Thank you, Adrienne.
She's been very active and very participatory.
Yes.
Thank you so much
Yes.
for the
Thank you. Thank
feedback.
you. I like that. We have a comment of mental and nervous system internal massage. Yay. How beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. Thank you.
yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
So,
that was perfect timing. You took us right up to the end. Did you have anything that you want to add?
I am open to having a conversation with people, pitch free, just to explore where you're at, how I may be able to help and support you again with energy work to help realign you to your blueprint and resolve those distortions, recalibrate your energy, support you through making changes, but also in the process, ultimately, to get to know how you're being guided internally. Some people are clairaudient, clairsentient, all of the clairs. Some people, it's just a matter of noticing those changes in your body and carrying that stress. And, we live up here in our head so much. So there's a lot of energy up here, and then our hearts are down here going, hello, and our necks are in between, and we're carrying the weight of the world and our responsibilities on our shoulders, and our necks are caught in the tug of war, and we wonder why we have trouble. And then, what I've seen happen is a lot of people end up in the medical system, which has a place, yes, but doesn't typically get to the root of what's going on, and doesn't look at the tug of war and all of that also has to be addressed. So I've seen people settle when they get a medical diagnosis. And a medical diagnosis to me is an assessment. It's a way of capturing and articulating where your body is at as a result of all of what you're bringing forward into the world and how you're expressing your light in the world. And that's why my website is Let Your Inner Light Shine, and my tagline is Sync with Your Soul. It knows what's best for you. No one else on the outside can know that 100%. They can guess, but nobody can know 100%. And I was lucky in my case. I had doctors trying to tell me, well, you must have this, you must have that, we got to test this, we test that. And there was a part of me that was honestly like, no, that's bullshit. I don't have some weird ass diagnosis I can't spell or pronounce. You're wrong, it's something else. But I had no clue what the answer was. And so luckily, when I finally followed along and I got with the right person and could just let it all go, things started to change. And I knew I was onto something the day in that office. I was on the treatment table and I could hear another client at the registration desk actually very upset. I've tried this, I've tried that, nothing's working. I don't know what to do. And I was laying there and I whispered, you're looking in the wrong place. And the therapist said to me, tell her. I said, I can't tell her. I don't even know who it is. Tell her. You need to say it. She needs to hear it. I said, I am not going to yell that out. I don't know who she is. I don't know that I have her permission. I don't know that she needs to hear that from me. However, you have a conversation and I will talk with her permission. And that's what I did. And I wasn't a therapist then, you know? And it's like, okay. And I was like, boy, this has got to be amazing to be able to help people for a living. Oh, we all have a purpose. It's about time you listen, sweetheart. So goodbye to the job, goodbye to the corporate world. Thank you. It's time to move on. Sync with your soul, be you, be as authentic and true to yourself as you can, whatever that is. Be your weird self, be your funny self, be your unique self, because the world needs it no matter what it is. It needs it, and it needs it now. And that's what we're being called to. That's why all this chaos is happening and, things are erupting and surfacing. Through all of that, if you can reconnect to your core, reconnect to your soul, it's your through line through the chaos. It has all of the answers. It's just a matter of knowing how to listen and being able to tune in. So I invite you to reach out. As I said, if you have questions, there is information on my website, and I'm still in the process of updating all of that, but I'm happy to chat with anybody and see how I might be able to support you. So I thank you. Thank you, Patricia, for this opportunity, and thank you to everyone that is in attendance here live tonight. I appreciate you.
Well, hopefully, people will reach out to you. And I always post this on my YouTube channel. And so a lot of people aren't here live, but I do get a lot of hits on the YouTube channel. And so I'm hoping that you'll get some responses because you have a lot to offer. And
Oh, thank you.
I want to see you be recognized for that. So I want
Thank
to
you.
thank
Thank you.
everyone. Yeah.
And everyone, you are welcome. I see your thank yous in the chats. It's been my pleasure. It's been my pleasure.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
want to thank all of you for joining me today on EarthWombyn Gathering Podcast. I truly believe that the conversations like this matter. And every time that we gather in intentional space, we help to create more awareness, more compassion, more remembrance, not only for ourselves, but for the collective as well. My hope is that something shared here today by Kelly sparked a new insight in you. I know it did for me, and activated maybe a deeper level of understanding with you, or maybe simply reminding you that you're not alone on the journey in listening to her story. If this episode resonated with you, I invite you to share it with others who may benefit from these conversations and explorations. And if you're interested, you can learn more about my work, my upcoming events, books, sessions, and courses at earthwombyn.com, and also triciawalls.com. And you can connect with me through the YouTube channel, social media, and community spaces as we continue exploring these powerful shifts happening within humanity and consciousness itself. So until next time, stay grounded, be kind to yourself, stay aware, stay sovereign, and continue listening to the wisdom that's already awakening within you. I'll see you all next time.